As an occupational therapist, one of my favorite things to do is adapt items or activities so someone can perform a task with more independence, period. I think the ADA is a law, with the heart of an occupational therapist, because it seeks to do the same thing, adapt our environment and activities to make them accessible and welcoming to all, period. I want to take this time to say happy anniversary to the ADA and to ask and encourage people everywhere, with and without disabilities, to get more familiar with the Act so that we can all be advocates and work towards a more inclusive world, period. Happy 30th anniversary, ADA!
Hi, my name is Shawna. I'm the Outreach Coordinator here at MonTECH, and today I celebrate the ADA because accessibility isn't just about physical barriers, it's also about attitudinal barriers. This is my son. He's a rock star on the autism spectrum, and he's on the more severe end of the spectrum, so sometimes when we're out and about we can get a little noisy and distracting for people. I'm grateful for the ADA. I'm grateful that through it we're given the legal right to be in any space or building that's open to the public. And I'm grateful that we have the right to access those places and to be there, and if we get a little noisy sometimes, people are welcome to leave, but my son doesn't have to. So we've come a long way thanks to the ADA.
30 years of progress.
Hi, I'm Dave Gentry. I work for MonTECH. I'm a person with a disability who was able to be in Governor Roscoe's office to watch George Bush sign the ADA 30 years ago. In my opinion of the ADA, it was a vast improvement over Section 504 of the Rehab Act. However, I think over the years, it has benefited more with people who have visible disabilities than people with invisible disabilities. And in that fact that I'm one of them, as far as having invisible disabilities, I'm always having to validate my disability to people so they understand it. And same with people with mental illness and developmental delays. We're always having to explain their disability to folks. I find that even when you work like I did for over 11 years with state government, they still didn't get it. And I found that the only thing that really had opened people's eyes was to have this. Then they get it. But prior to that, they never quite understood it. So, as we used to say, access is more than a ramp. So I have found for people with invisible disabilities, programmatic access is still a difficulty, and same with software access. Although we are moving forward, however, most Americans cannot tell you what the ADA is, and most professionals can't even tell you what the 5 acts of ADA are.
30th birthday ADA. Thanks for removing barriers and making the U.S. a more accessible and inclusive place to live. My favorite thing about the ADA, I think, would have to be the evolution over the years of initially it being just focused on the physical built environment, and now recognizing that the internet is a place where public services are offered, and so now also including website accessibility.
Thanks to the ADA, people can now live in their communities instead of institutions. While living in their communities, they can use assistive technology to perform daily functions that they may have not been able to do independently.
Thanks to the ADA, I've had the opportunity to work and go to school with some of the most amazing, brilliant, talented, and kind people that I've ever met. These people happen to have disabilities, and if it wasn't for the ADA, it's possible that they wouldn't have received the same opportunities that I did.
People with disabilities have been helped by the ADA. When I travel down the sidewalk, there are curb cuts and they have removed obstacles. When I use a public bathroom, if it is ADA designed, then there are grab bars and washing designs and the floor is level. If a location says they are ADA accessible, I am assured I can use their facilities. But, the ADA has no police, and after 30 years very few people have read the ADA. The ADA is enforced by the Department of Justice. If you call them, maybe your complaint would be prosecuted in 5 years.
I have a degenerative eye condition. Late in my career, I had lost enough vision that I was having a hard time seeing the computer screen. Because of the ADA, I knew I could ask my employer for reasonable accommodation. In my case, this was 2 larger monitors and a piece of specialized software. This allowed me to work a couple more years, which was very important to me. So thanks, ADA.